This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. The topic of January 6th has been prevalent on the channel since it happened. It was a watershed moment for America, hopefully waking up Americans all over the country to the dangers that we're facing as a democracy, together as a society. And part of what took place on January 6th was deeply rooted in white supremacy. That is just a fact. As much as right-wing Republican bomb throwers and clowns on the other side, the pundit class will distract from that. Tucker Carlson, chief among them, questioning what even is white supremacy. We all know what it is. Even though they're trying to distract from the fact that it was a chief motivator, the fact remains that it is. The reason that they're attempting to distract from the chief motivator of white supremacy and racism is that they don't want, it's twofold, I believe. One, they don't want to admit that it's a problem in their party, some of them, and others who are active in the movement, like Tucker Carlson, they want to act as though, just like David Duke does, that racism isn't a thing and white supremacists aren't a thing. It's like the old trope about the mafia saying that there's no such thing as the mafia. And yesterday, during the testimony, Harry Dunn, a black police officer with the Capitol Police, he gave a very powerful opening statement. And then I'm going to play a clip of that, and then also a clip of a question from Benny Thompson, the chairman of the Select Committee investigating January 6th. And just as full disclosure, a lot of media outlets are bleeping the use of the N-word by Harry Dunn. I'm not going to do that. I believe the N-word is reprehensible. It was used as a cudgel. It was weaponized against blacks in this country. It has been for hundreds of years. It is not a word I use, but I'm not going to censor his use of the word. I'm not going to censor his testimony because he could have said N-word, but he chose, because of the power that it brings, to say it. So I'm not going to censor his testimony. This is uncensored from yesterday during the House Select Committee hearing, during his opening statement. And the reason I want to play it, because I want to talk about exactly what the motivations were of many, not all possibly, but certainly most of the people who attempted to overthrow the government and what their motivation was, why they did so. And a lot of it did have to do with race. Watch this moment from yesterday.
I told them to just leave the Capitol, and in response they yelled, "No, man, this is our house. President Trump invited us here. We're here to stop the steal. Joe Biden is not the president. Nobody voted for Joe Biden. I'm a law enforcement officer, and I do my best to keep politics out of my job. But in this circumstance, I responded, well, I voted for Joe Biden. Does my vote not count? Am I nobody?" That prompted a torrent of racial epithets. One woman in a pink MAGA shirt yelled, "You hear that, guys? This nigger voted for Joe Biden." Then the crowd, perhaps around 20 people, joined in screaming, "Boo, fucking nigger." No one had ever called me a nigger while wearing the uniform of a Capitol Police officer. In the days following the attempted insurrection, other black officers shared with me their own stories of racial abuse on January 6th. One officer told me he had never, and in his entire 40 years of life, been called a nigger to his face, and that streak ended on January 6th. Yet another black officer later told me he had been confronted by insurrectionists in the Capitol who told him, "Put your gun down and we'll show you what kind of nigger you really are." To be candid, the rest of the afternoon is a blur.
powerful testimony. Powerful testimony that encapsulates the motivations of thousands of Trump supporters that were there that day. Imagine being a cop, being a black cop who just going to work to do your job, and a group of white supremacist, racist trash shows up to try to overthrow the government, and you are the focus of their ire. You are the focus of their hatred, of their venom, of their sinister agenda to overturn a free and fair election. The Republican Party has proven time and time and time again that they cannot wield power responsibly. We are witnessing them systematically attempt to steal the vote from black and brown Americans. A widespread, concerted, organized effort to disenfranchise black Americans. And their emissaries that Donald Trump dispatched to the Capitol, they know it. Because when Republicans don't value black people, the voter base, when elected Republicans do, the voter base does not. It might be a self-perpetuating cycle that the base hates blacks, so the elected leaders do. Or, it's a chicken before the egg. Maybe the politicians do, so the base does. But it was a chief motivator of what took place on January 6th. And because of it, we are all in danger. White and black alike. Here's a moment with Benny Thompson questioning and asking specifically about questions surrounding this issue. Watch this.
As an African-American law enforcement officer, can you give us, this committee and those who are watching, how you felt defending the Capitol on that day, being called that and seeing the symbols of the Confederacy going through the Capitol at the same time?
Yes, sir. Thank you for your question. To be frank, while the attack was happening, I didn't view it, and I wasn't able to process it as a racial attack. I was just trying to survive that day and get home. When I did have a moment to process it, I think that's in the rotunda where I became so emotional, because I was able to process everything that happened. And it was just so overwhelming, and it's so disheartening and disappointing that we live in a country with people like that, that attack you because of the color of your skin, just to hurt you. Those words are weapons. Thankfully, at the moment, it didn't hinder me from doing my job. But once I was able to process it, it hurt. It hurt just reading it now and just thinking about it, that people demonize you because of the color of your skin, when my blood is red. I'm an American citizen. I'm a police officer. I'm a peace officer. I'm here to defend this country, defend everybody in this building, not just the members, all the staff, guests, everybody. It just hurts that we have people in this country that result to that, regardless of your actions and what you desire to do and to make a difference out there. It's disheartening. So
disgraceful. And we're witnessing right now. It's a period where it is unabashed racism. It is out from, they've taken the sheets off. Your Megyn Kellys, your Laura Ingrams, your Tucker Carlson, your YouTube characters like Steven Crowder. that spend an inordinate amount of time, an inexplicable amount of time, attacking people who they perceive as a threat, and that just so happen to always be black. Simone Biles right now, an American treasure, an Olympian who's brought home the gold countless times, I have no idea how many times, for America, is now being attacked, vilified by the right. They try to make things political when they are not political at all, when race becomes their focus. And that is what we witnessed on January 6th. The disgusting display. It wasn't just an attempted overthrow of the government and overturning of an election. It was also motivated and predicated by their racial insecurities. What do you think, though, as I hang up on this phone call? What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. I catch comments once in a while in the comment section of, leave race out of this. Race has nothing to do with this. Race in America is an unavoidable topic because we have continued for hundreds of years to bury our heads in the sand, failing to make life better for black Americans. Race does have something to do, especially with this. So if you're coming to the comments with the race had nothing to do with it, save your time. Save the precious energy that you're expending to type a stupid comment. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Follow me on social media. I'd love to connect with you there. Still suspended from TikTok. Please consider supporting my work. If you've been on the fence, you hear me talk about it all the time. If you are in a financial position to do so, I would really appreciate it. If I bring you value for $2 a month, you can help support the channel. You can help produce my work. You can do it right here on YouTube by clicking the join button below the video. Click it, see what's involved. For $1.99, you can start. Also over on Patreon, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. My content will always be free. It's just the way it is. But a little help would be very, very appreciated. If I'm able to marshal the size of my audience and even a scant percentage were to sign up for $2 a month, we could really move to the next level with the channel. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.